Just a couple of members that I should have taken first that I misjust Senator Brolcháin.
Good to hear. Look, I note the comments of the leaders of the main opposition parties, and I have to say that I feel they were extremely responsible comments this morning, and I very much welcome that. I'd like to call on the leader for debate on systemic change to our political system, because I certainly believe that our system doesn't cope. Our system doesn't cope very well in a time of crisis. We get this sort of thing of barracking and opposition, you know, just pettiness sometimes, which really doesn't do us any favours. Which doesn't do us any favours.
Interruption, please.
It is a time at the moment for cool heads and calmness. We have, as people have, senators on the other side have said, we are in the final days of this particular government, and it is important that we don't play politics with that to the extent that we mess up any further the current difficult situation we find ourselves in. There is clarity to the situation now, but I think we need to look forward. We had a difficulty in the 80s. We had an enormous difficulty in the 80s, and I believe our system didn't cope with that in the 80s. It was the generosity of Alan Dukes at the time which brought us through that particular crisis. I believe it's a time for generosity now again. The Green Party has called for consensus. That was thrown back in our faces. We certainly felt that that was the way forward at the time, and I believe that there's a possibility we could have saved a lot of the anguish we're facing now if that had been taken up. But nevertheless, I think we need to look at our political system. I think we need a proper debate on it, and we need to have facilities that in a time of crisis, that our opposition style of politics that we have in this country is put to one side, and that we can work together for the greater good of this country. I believe that that has to happen now, and that we have to do that, but that's not our system. That is not our system. Finally, here, look, in Rome, in times of crisis, they put forward, they appointed a dictator to look after their system because they felt that was the way to do things. We need a different style of politics in time of such major national crisis, and I think it's time we started looking at it.
Senator Mullen.
Fintan O'Toole wants 3 dictators, if I counted correctly. How appropriate that they would come.